First of all, we're lucky to be a veteran, okay? And we're lucky to have supported our country. I served in both World War II and the Korean conflict, and so I have a very soft spot in my heart for veterans. We want to remind the people, don't forget the veterans.
Lou and Dottie Riedlinger are a driving force behind events like this Veterans Day remembrance at their church, First United Methodist of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where Lou has been a member for 60 years.
Well, I think it's important to pass down to the church and to the younger people in the church what veterans have endured during all the wars. I get annoyed once in a while that people seem to ignore the fact that we're even in a war.
Lou is glad to see people taking the time to write cards, which he delivers to hospitalized vets.
Thanks for your service. Thank you for serving our country so much with all your hard work.
I was glad to enlist when I did. My parents weren't too happy about it, but I was. We're always told this is the last war. Well, that has not happened. The veterans represent the sacrifices that people made. The nights that I spent in a cold trench over in Europe, stuff like that.
The Riedlingers saw the need for a veterans program in 2007. It has evolved over the years.
The name of the ministry is the Armed Services Support Ministry. We were greeters at the church on a Sunday, and opposite where we were standing were a number of containers for the different ministries, the prison ministry, the food bank, and other ministries. And Dottie and I said to each other, well, there's nothing for the veterans. So the minister came by and we asked him about this, and he says, well, we'll have to do something. And as you know, when you start asking questions, you get the job. From 2007 to 2011, over that 4-year period, we collected $11,000 for phone cards. That was some 2,300 phone cards that we collected. We decided that now our efforts would go toward the Veterans Hospital and their needs. Since we have a Veterans Hospital only 20 miles from here at Lebanon, Pennsylvania, they came up with a certain list of needs that they had, and that included underwear, socks, chewing gum, crossword puzzle books.
We're starting a new ministry for making lap blankets.
For the wheelchair patients.
Yeah. Isn't that neat?
Okay.
Here we are.
My advice to other people in other churches that would want to start a veterans ministry, work with the VFW, the American Legion, and find out what veterans in your area have needs. Is there a veteran's wife that needs the lawn cut? Do they need some help repairing their house? The church can get involved, and you can start it with just a few people, and it will expand. I'm proud to be a United Methodist. From a veteran standpoint, the church recognizes the difficulty it is to walk the line of being peaceful, and yet sometimes there is action that has to be taken that's not peaceful in order to preserve what we have. I like that feeling that they pray for peace, they want peace, but it's not always possible. And sometimes we have to take a stand.
This video was brought to you by the people of the United Methodist Church through World Service donations.